Good morning. Good morning. Okay, we can go live on the gram.
I have to press the button. Don't get out of it.
And today you are live on LinkedIn. Not me, you.
What?
Yes, so it's
I
your
love it. Oh, are we starting round robin?
Well, I figured it was worth it was worth it. Good morning, Wriggle Out of Real Estate. Oops, that's not what I want to do. What am I doing? Not yet. Wrong button. Hello, where am I? There I am. Wherever you are, that's where you'll be. Good morning, everybody. We actually have our shit together, surprisingly. We pretend to, at least. It is Social Surge with Fly and Mo. I'm Mo Regalado. Off to my right.
I think so. I don't remember which side.
Is Fly Jamerson. And today, we are talking about your wonky LinkedIn feed. Because let's be real, it kind of sucks. Right?
I don't know. I know people are upset.
I'm not a fan. And so it was yesterday I posted about the issues that I've been having with LinkedIn, right? And I was talking about it being wonky because I can be on mobile and like and comment on a post, and then I go on desktop and there's posts of yours that I have liked and commented on that then I go on desktop and I can't see those. I've done it from mobile and then I'm on desk and they're gone. I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? So there's that. And then the other thing that I've noticed is so obviously LinkedIn has come out and they've told us multiple times, we do not want you putting links in your copy, in your post copy. You're like, okay, fine. We'll put the link in the comments. There's been several times where I have put the link in the comments and the link, it's not visible at all, to the point where on my client's post, people are saying, where's the link? Then the client contacts me and is like, why didn't you put the link in? And I'm like, the link is there like 3 freaking times, right? Like I posted it 3 times because I kept seeing that it was disappearing. So there's some issues and challenges in LinkedIn land. And then yesterday you sent me a DM and you're like, da da da, 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 da,
look at this.
Right? Now, this was a post by what is her name? Her name is
Leah Durgachev.
Leah Durgachev, and she had a great post about how LinkedIn is confirming that we're seeing these old posts. So give me your breakdown on that.
So her post is a digest of a Business Insider article. Lara O'Reilly from Business Insider, who I'm not familiar with, right? So it's like, what's so interesting to me about the internet all of the time is, of course, that there are pockets and people that are looking at things and talking about things that you may not necessarily know about, but like, that come up in conversations that are relevant to you. And for me, that is actually the biggest thing that is interesting about why we're seeing these changes is because they've been experimenting a lot with things over the last year. I mean, when I think about what everyone was all hyped up about LinkedIn a year ago, everyone was trying to be like a top community voice with the AI articles.
Yes.
And contributing to those. And like people were like, this is great. We got to do this. And that's not a thing
anymore.
I think it's still there, but like that's not what we're doing or how we're like trying to get things out anymore, right? And so
are there still badges for top voices?
There's badges for top voices, but there was always a difference between a badge that LinkedIn gave to people directly as a recognition of a top voice, which was a little blue thing. I think that is still there. Okay. The top community voice was just something, it was like, it was very gamified. Mm-hmm. It was a yellow badge, not a blue one. And you got it by contributing to those articles and by people, like it ranked it by like people commenting and engaging and things like that. Right. So that, but I bring that up to say is like people were going hard on that a year ago, and that's nowhere now in the landscape. And so I bring it up to say that LinkedIn has clearly been growing, changing, expanding, evolving, experimenting. And the broader takeaway from the why of what they're trying to do with the LinkedIn algorithm has everything to do with relevance. And it's not just relevance in terms of the kind of content that you would like to see, but my takeaway from this is that they are very interested in looking at how they can use an algorithm to better connect you and better make you present with and engaged with people who you actually have relationships with.
Right. Yeah. So what it's doing is like you're seeing posts from like 3 weeks ago that you might not have seen initially, or maybe you did see and you just scrolled on by, but it's basing it off of relevance versus recency, right? So there are ways that you can change that, and it's basing the relevance off of your actions, out of who you. So again, we've talked about TikTok and how TikTok kind of revolutionized how we consume content based on the actions that you take on your For You page. It's a very personalized experience, right? If so, if like, for example, on TikTok, if all you were watching were cat and dog funny fail videos, which clearly I'm one of those people, right? Because like I'm bringing that up, and I enjoy watching a cat jump and then fall. I don't know why. It's just hilarious. They should be graceful, and they're not. And it just makes me feel much better about myself as a human. Just kidding. Anyway, clearly I need coffee. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, Greg, a lot of real estate. So the point is that the For You page becomes very personalized based on your actions and your interactions with the content that you're consuming. We've seen this trickle across platforms. Instagram, Twitter, actually, X, Twitter, whatever. It has more, it's showing more of what the relevance versus the recency, right? As well as, I don't not necessarily know so much about Facebook. I think they are trying to change that. The weird thing about Facebook is this, anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. But now it's gone to LinkedIn. And it is not, you used to be able to go to like recent posts or top posts, however you're going to switch that, and it would show you what you wanted to see. So again, you're getting stuff from 3 weeks ago. Now the challenge with this, and this was actually one of the very first comments that I saw on Leah's post, was if I'm seeing a post from 3 weeks ago, it feels almost weird to comment on that post because it's from 3 weeks ago. What relevance does it have now in like the grand scheme of things? Like I feel almost like the FOMO, right? I've already missed out on this post.
Bro, I was liking comments on a post from 9 months ago yesterday that I missed because I repurposed my content. And you want to know what? I think, I'm sorry, this is a little bit ranty, but
rant away.
I honestly think that's just something people need to get over.
I agree. I agree 100%.
And it is so interesting to me, some of the psychology, again, of like why people do or do not react to stuff. Because you want to know where this comes from? This comes from when you're like 7 years deep in like an Instagram feed of like a girl that you like, and then suddenly that that you like, or boy, sorry, just like everybody does it regardless of who, right? This, like, you're creeping on people. We lurk on people, right? But like on Instagram, like you like a post from 36 weeks ago, like the fear of that is like, oh no, they knew I was looking at their stuff. Like
I think that only applies to Instagram. Like when you're James, it's good to have you join us. And Dwayne, thanks for joining us on LinkedIn. Again, we are on Fly's account today, not on mine. Yeah. James doesn't see a problem with it. And there is no problem with it, but it's the idea that people are holding themselves back because they're afraid that they've already missed out on something. And so that, I think, is going to be you're right. That's one of the things people are going to have a mindset shift with this new kind of algorithm, this new algorithm that we are seeing on LinkedIn. So the algorithm now prioritizes engagement history. Mm-hmm. So What have you engaged on in the past? Now, what is nice, I have noticed what is nice about this is I am seeing content from people that probably weeks prior, I was like, where the hell is this person? Why
Yeah, for
haven't I
sure.
seen, why haven't I seen their content in a while? It's also prioritizing relationship importance. So it's going to be, and this is going to be piss some of you people off. It's going to be your close network over viral reach, right? So this is going to be some of you people are like, I need to have more impressions, more impressions, more impressions. Yeah, nope. They're not going to prioritize those impressions, that viral reach. They want you to prioritize your close network. And then they want domain expertise, which means they're looking for thought leaders over people who are just farming engagement and content.
And like, what's really interesting to me about if this is really how they were going to run this, because I don't know if I necessarily see those particular things. I see the building blocks of those things. And again, I have been seeing very interesting things pop off that I've never seen pop off before. And I think that a part of that is both. I want to say it's twofold. I think a part of it is that like I think that the playing field is starting to get leveled a little bit, and people are once again like they're seeing the power of like what can happen here if you're sharing and genuinely being helpful,
right,
and vulnerable at times. Just like dependent, like it's useful, it's helpful, it's honest, like whatever it is, all of these things, right? So I'm seeing, so I think it is a combination of the fact that people are stopping playing it so close to the chest, and the algorithm is building itself to reward that. But I don't know. I do think that we see the beginning of this, but I am curious to see kind of a spread between smaller accounts, larger accounts, things like that, because I do think that larger accounts, like when you get past 10,000 followers, are going to have a much different experience of this algorithm than people who are mid-range or sub 2,000.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a lot easier for the smaller accounts to gain more visibility and more traction than the larger accounts, because the larger accounts are so large, and they'll have their core audience, but it'll be more of a challenge to really get into connection with those people that are trying to connect with them. So you're really going to have to prioritize commenting on your posts, engaging on other posts, for those larger accounts if they want to continue to see the metrics. And the last thing I want to say about the changes to the algorithm and what it's now prioritizing is, and this goes exactly with what Fly was saying, is that there's no more vanity metrics, right? And vanity metrics are the followers, they're the likes. I just had a conversation with a gentleman yesterday who he's been working with someone for, I've been consulting, right? And he's been working with somebody who I helped get them to create content for this person. And he was just like, well, I haven't seen real good follower growth. And I'm like, follower growth is a vanity metric. Yes, you should have positive growth, but the number of followers doesn't mean shit. It doesn't, because as I've said before, you can buy, and you can probably still do it. You can buy followers, you can buy fake engagement, but that is not your core audience, and those aren't the people you're trying to reach. When we're on social, we're looking at this as a top of mind awareness thing, and you are trying to create real connection, real opportunity on the platform versus look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Like, again, you wouldn't go to a conference with the bullhorn, though Fly and I might, and yell at people, hey, the bitches are here, right? Like, you and I probably would. But, I mean, I could totally see us doing that. But that's not the point, right? You don't go and have a giant billboard saying, look at me. It is trying to create that real connection and that real opportunity to share, to grow. So I would really, I think that this, even though this change sucks, and you can feel that it sucks.
I disagree.
Well, no,
Go on, but I disagree.
If you've had a certain experience on LinkedIn that has been very, very favorable based on the type of content that you produce, and then all of a sudden this algorithm is not doing what you wanted it to do. Thank you, sir. Love
That's
you so
fair.
much. So
That's
kind.
fair.
You're a prince among men. Thank you for the coffee.
Can you hand me one through the screen?
The fly wants one too. So I mean, if you've been having a certain experience, then all of a sudden the algorithm shifts and it changes, and you're not having that experience anymore, it's gonna suck, right? I do think that this is a great opportunity for people who are consistent.
Yeah.
If you are a consistent creator, this is going to be good for you. And this also means that that evergreen content that you put out there is having a longer shelf life.
Yeah, 100%. I want to bring up, oh, can I bring it up? Wait.
I think you can. Yeah.
Yes, I did it. Dwayne has a great comment here. And you want to know what? I think that this is actually, so I've been in communication with people about things and they mentioned something positive about my post. Yes. So vanity metrics are, here's the thing. Vanity metrics are just a way of tracking. It's just data, right? And one of the things, yes, this 100%. There are so many reasons why somebody may not interact with your post. You want to know what? I follow people that like I never touch their stuff. I see it, or I look at it, but I never engage, right? And so if anybody wants to talk to me about who those are and why I'm not engaging, do you know what I mean? But people are looking, and engagement gives you great data about a lot of things. It gives you positive feedback on certain things. It gives you, and when you don't get engagement, that is also feedback. It's all just feedback. And one of the things, again, that I want to encourage people to think about here is, like, at the end of the day, like, you are not trying to reach 10,000 people. You're not trying to doing something that gets impressions and reach and all that kind of stuff. Like, fantastic for top of funnel awareness, but the mid-range things, the people who are actually closer into your circle, like, you may get in front of them because you've had a heavy hit like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for us ADHDers, it's even worse.
Great strategy to get in front of somebody, sure. But like, at the end of the day, for most people, you are trying to reach somebody who is down the street.
Yep.
And so like when we start to talk about what we're actually doing on LinkedIn or on X or on Instagram or just whatever, obviously I'm a LinkedIn fiend. Okay. But it's just like, so many people are focused on casting far and wide when who you're actually trying to sell to is somebody in your town, or you're actually, do you know what I mean? And so all of that is to say, like, if you don't have clarity about who you're trying to reach, this is not going to work.
Yep.
If you have national, if you search, like, and here's the thing, you can be in a local market and like still work nationally, right? Like with investors, with like people who are referral partners, like all kinds of stuff, right? Especially like if you're tenant rep and you're trying to bring people in, or there's just so many different versions of how this business works that no single one approach is going to fit. There's really not one size fits all, but really what the algorithm changes that LinkedIn is showing to us is that they value who you're actually trying to talk to. So if you don't know who that is, and you don't know where they're looking, and you don't know how to reach them or engage with them and talk, like, again, we have you and I have been going back and forth about this idea of social media versus interest media and how that is changing how we consume things.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I do think that interest media that is bringing people to be aware of you. That was a really weird way to say that sentence. Sorry. Like at the end of the day, because of this business, like you need to figure out how you're actually turning that into a relationship.
Right. How are you taking that, what's happening online, into real life? And how are you creating value for the person that's engaging with you? Jim says, I appreciate comments on older posts. It can start a new conversation, make a new friend, add value. That's right. Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go.
No, I just need to call this out on I'm going to take a screenshot. Hold on. So I can't bring up Instagram comments in the StreamYard, but on my Instagram live, there's somebody trying to pitch me Google ads. I love this. When people get on your content and then cold pitch you right there.
You've been pitch slapped.
I've been pitch slapped right here, right now.
Ooh, sticker machine is coming upstairs, so I can make pitch slap stickers.
I love it. No, thank you, roofing campaign expert. I do not need a Google Ads expert. I don't. Appreciate it though.
What do you think about not accepting requests from people not in business? What do you think about not accepting requests?
So I would be curious. I would like, you don't need to, if somebody's trying to connect with you and you don't know
they're
why.
Not in, yeah. I'm actually a big believer in curating the people that I connect with on LinkedIn. If we don't have people in common, if you're not in my vertical or of an interest of mine, I will not connect. And I don't think you should be connecting with everyone. I think you do need to curate that, because if you don't curate that, you're going to end up getting a shit feed. And you don't want to, have a bunch of people you're connected with that have no interest in doing business with you. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I'd say always be selective, right? Like even if the person, you guys have 25 connections in common, but you get that like little gut feeling like, oh, this person's going to pitch me, or they're outside of a vertical that I don't work. And like, sometimes it's a challenge because I do work, I have worked with coaches in the past. And so it's always like a 50-50 shot of whether or not they want to work with me or they want to pitch me their coaching services. So I
don't know who this is, but I love you. I have no idea who this is. Why do we have a blanked LinkedIn user? I
think we're being trolled, but I love it.
Being trolled, and I really love it. Okay, I love this so much. Please DM me, whoever you are.
And they're gonna pitch slap you.
I love it. Great, let's go. It's raining today. I'm a little feisty.
All right, so here's some solutions for this new algorithm. And this is for everyday users. So if you want to switch to most recent in your feed settings, so you're going to want to write this down. Yep. You're going to go to settings, account preferences, feed preferences, and then most recent posts. The next thing that we've talked about too is just be intentional with who you engage with, right? If you have one broker that continuously shows up on your feed and all it is listing posts, stop engaging with that broker. Start engaging with more people and more content that you actually want to see. And here's just a wild idea. Use your search bar. Your search bar and your search topics, use it and find the stuff that you actually want to engage with. That's like, it's so simple, but I think we forget the simple steps, right? And really every platform, social platform, is some type of search engine or answer engine. And then comment more on the content that you want to see more of, right? So if you want more deal stories, like Bob Knackle, go find those deal stories. People are sharing those deal stories. One of the recommendations that I make for people who are getting started on X, and I know we're talking about LinkedIn, but is go see who those people are following, right? So if you want to be more active in maybe strip mall guys, sphere of influence, go see who he's following, not his followers. Go see who he's following and who he's engaging with, right? And then getting involved in those conversations. And then for other for other things to do, we've talked again. I feel like we always keep going back to certain things that we've said over and over again. You have evergreen content.
Sorry, go on.
There's nothing wrong with it. You have evergreen content. Fly just had a great example of this on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday?
Yesterday.
She went back to her, was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday. She had a podcast post that she'd put up. She turned it into like a PDF slide deck, which is awesome, right? And that got a shit ton of engagement. So good, right? Super easy. You don't have to rethink the wheel. Go back and look at your best content. Go back and look at content that you thought should have hit and maybe it missed, and reshare it. You give it new life. I'm not a big fan of tagging random people in your posts, so please don't do that. But if you were inspired by somebody, it's one of my pet peeves. Like I can't stand it.
I know. Well, and then of course on that particular post, I did tag everybody in a comment, and it is funny. One of the reasons. Okay, this is just like a little thing,
but that made sense to me. It made sense to me, right? It wasn't random people.
It wasn't random people. It was the people in the post, and just just like, hey, like, look, just giving an opportunity for me to celebrate them, and then also like, hey, yeah, click, like if somebody reads this and they want to follow them, like give them a channel to do that. The reason that I didn't tag it in the direct post, like in the body of the caption versus in the comments, is because I didn't tell anybody I was going to do that, right? And if you tag somebody in a post and that person doesn't engage with it, it'll tank. Like it will. That is showing the algorithm that person that this
has no interest,
right? And so it's like, why would they're just trying to protect you? You know what I mean? So that was why I did it that way. But yeah, I did. People do not feel like they have permission to say the same thing over and over, which is directly antithetical to how marketing works.
Yep.
You need to have so many touches, so many instances of somebody seeing who you are, what you do, how you can help them, blah, 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 right? Like it takes a long time. No, I don't want to have said that. It just takes, you can't say something once. I don't even remember what I said at the beginning of this podcast. You can't say or is this a podcast? I don't know what this is, our show. If you only say something once to someone, if you only show up once, like the message is not getting across.
Right. Alison Weiss talks about this, she talks about her 50, I think she actually has a PDF where it's like 50 or 55 touch points, right?
Yes.
But it takes, I think it's 1174. Is that the number? 1174?
Yep.
And if not, connect with Alison and she'll tell you about it. But it's the amount of touches that it requires before your messaging starts getting through to your core audience, right? So sharing
here.
Yay! Allie Chan is here. Again, you don't assume that anyone knows what you're doing or working on. People are busy. That's right. And I think that's I think if you go back to Sales 101, and one of the greatest lessons that I ever learned, which is people are not thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves. And this actually was very specific towards cold calling and rejection and not having people contact you back. And I was like struggling with this. I was like, what the hell? Like, am I not? You start like questioning all of your life choices when you're in sales, right? Because you're just like, what Jesus, what am I doing wrong? All the life choices. And, but one of the great things that a trainer told me was people thinking about you, they're thinking about themselves. So do not feel bad if you are not getting the engagement that you want because they're not responding. And this was directly towards like actual like physical phone calls. Like I had to pick up the phone and dial, and we had cell phones, but we weren't using them like that at that time. So the point being is that you are going to continuously have to tell your message over and over and over and over again, until people can repeat that message back to you. And so remember that your touch points and your message has to be repeated. Now, please do not take this that we're saying every 3 hours.
Oh, no. It's not. Yeah, it's about clarity.
Right.
It's just about clarity. And clarity comes with consistency and frequency. Like that's it. And I think that sometimes when I see people worried about the algorithm, worried about the platform, worried about the metrics, all this stuff, like they're looking at something that they can't control, and they're like reacting to it instead of responding to it. And the way that you can set yourself up to be able to respond to things that you cannot control, like whether it's TikTok getting shut down or LinkedIn algo changing, is if you have a system and for yourself to be creating content and capitalizing on the relationships those create, and that you are razor sharp about your message and who you are and what you say and how you say it and all of that. Again, that's the actual core of the content, not any of this other stuff.
Yep.
That knowing that and doing that is going to help you immensely, regardless of what platform you're on, and also in your real life relationships.
Yep, absolutely. You need to know what your one-liner is. You need to be able to share your
overtime.
We are as clearly and as concisely as possible. Okay. So, couple things real quick. Social Mastery VIP, that's our school group. Please join if you'd like to be a part of the marketing ecosystem, and you need help with that. Fly and I will be in there to help you out. Also, CREI Summit. We have a X Spaces Live happening today.
Ooh, yep.
Warren Tingen is doing that. He's going to be speaking with Landon Dory and Travis Albee, who are CREI rookies. It'll be their first time going to CREI Summit. CREI Summit is in Palm Desert this year. It is September 10th through the 12th. And we have 2-3 lists that are still coming out. Instagram is being tabulated as it is right now. We still have podcasts and TikTok. So if you have a podcast, if you have a great TikTok channel, and you have not submitted your information yet, which if you've put in for any of the other lists, you should have put your information in there. But if you have not, go to creisummit.com and you can still apply for podcast as well as TikTok. And I think that's it for my messages. Oh, I got my tickets. I got my tickets to fly yesterday. Not to fly, but to actually fly to CREI Summit.
Man, there's a joke in there, and I am just... everybody wants a ticket to fly. No, I'm not. It's not like that.
Oh my God. Yes. Tickets. Okay. No.
Okay. No.
Okay. So I there's no direct flight for me from Spokane to Palm Desert, but we're going to be flying from Spokane to Seattle, and then it goes to Palm Springs. Perfect. We'll rent a car. We'll go to Palm Desert. Not a big deal. It's like 10 minutes down the road. But when we're flying out, we're flying into Portland, and then we're going to go to Spokane. So if you need a plane, like if you're trying to figure out like, how am I going to fly and get there? Look at Portland, look at flying into Portland to go to Palm Springs, look at flying into Seattle. If that's close to you, like if that makes sense, then do that. Anyway, that was just my 2 cents. I'm not going to be here on Tuesday.
Okay.
I will be flying to, last announcement, I will be flying to Globe Street Women of Influence conference in Denver. And so I'll be doing that, but I will be back here on next Thursday. Now, if Fly wants to run this solo,
it would
more
be
power
so
to
weird if
you.
I did live cold calls. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, that would be.
It would be, I want to get to the point where I can do that, but I need some thought about that because
That would be hilarious.
it would be really fun. We got to go.
We got to go. Everybody have a great day. Have a great weekend. Reminding you to keep all your cats and dogs separated. I don't know.
Bye.
We don't want chaos.